Welcome to a Friday Reads, where I talk about what I read, what I'm reading, what I hope to get to next. Here's Donna. Kieran's sleeping yonder, but I came into this room and potentially woke them up. Today's a big day for them. Today is the first day they're allowed in the rest of the apartment supervised. Very supervised. They want to put everything in their mouths, everything, and they want everything on the floor. You know, kittens. So, big day. Putau's handling it as well as you can expect an old man handling kittens that try to ambush him from all sides, but they mostly play with each other, so it's going well. And he only hisses when they push his boundaries. He's, for the most part, a guy on his porch watching the children in the neighborhood play and just kind of being bemused. It's very cute. But we'll talk about what I've read and what I'm reading, and I kind of tentative future plans, although I have a busy weekend ahead of me. And that means I actually kind of sort of have a lot of reading time, but maybe not. And this week's been weird because I've had migraines and then intense insomnia, which are unrelated. The night I had a migraine, I slept okay. Last night I didn't sleep okay. And now I have a headache, but not a migraine because I didn't sleep. It's super fun week. But reading has still been happening. So a thing I finished since we last chatted was The Sunlit Man, the last secret project book. And I'll be briefish, because I'm going to have a video next week where I talk about, are the secret projects worth it? Whatever clickbaity title I give that video. Oh, is Kieran coming over? He is. It's our big boy. He is 3 pounds now. Yes, he is. He was 2 pounds a month ago. Big boy. He's doing good. They're both doing real good. So I've read The Sunlit Man, and I think it is my favorite in the secret projects because it is just the most aggressively are you a Cosmere nerd? Well, what have I got for you? A little fast-paced for me. It's a very fast-paced story. I like the main character, but there was a time where I was just like, is this going to be this archetype character Sanderson does, which sometimes this particular archetype can be exhausting for me because I just don't think he does it uniquely enough or in a way that resonates with me. I could see it working really well if you resonate with the way he writes this archetype of character, which is a character that has a lot of regrets, who kind of looks down on themselves, kind of doesn't really know if they can still be who they thought they were, those type of things that Sanderson does with characters. Sometimes it really works for me, sometimes it doesn't, and also I just do think, because I've been reading Sanderson since 2005, sometimes when you see the same-ish thing over and over again, if it's not your favorite type of same-ish thing, it doesn't work that well. But in the case of Sunlit Man, the same-ish things were the things I'm nostalgic for. So, worked out pretty well. It was fun, fast-paced, short. I just got the email today that my copy will arrive to me eventually, so I'll have all of them. This is not important, but I do kind of wish there weren't 2 blue covers in the secret projects. There's 2 blue ones, a green one and a red one, and I just feel like color palette wise for all 4 being next to each other, we could have done something different. I'm sure it won't look bad, but I just personally, not my favorite color combo that we've come up with all 4 together. So yeah, video next week though, spoiler free, where I discuss my thoughts on all 4 of those books, since I really haven't done any standalone reviews for any of them. I've been in a Tress discussion and a Yumi discussion for Roger's Cosmere Read Along, and we're going to do The Sunlit Man. I don't really think outside of wrap up I've talked about Wizard's Guide, although I think it's pretty clear that I don't have very good opinions about it. And so then what have I been doing? I've still been reading Out There Screaming, which is this short story anthology by Black authors that Jordan Peele edited. It's very good. Haven't been in my best short story headspace, but I'm not too far behind, and there really have been some unsettling ones. I read one of the longer ones recently that was very cyberpunk dystopian horror adjacent. Oh, I really wish that one's grown on me, because I think the vibes of it, the atmosphere just sits in my head almost more than any other story in that collection. So yeah, I think it's really well curated so far. I've been really liking the stories that there are. Oh my god, Kieran is crawling into my lap, guys. He is so cute. Oh my god, you're such a baby. He loves us. It's great. And I love you. It's just all you ever want as a cat person is for a cat to want to be in your lap. Then Delilah didn't do that until she was very, very old, and I love Delilah her entire life, but it took so long for her and I to have a relationship. Granted, I didn't get her as a 2-month-old kitten. I got her more at 4-month-old, which means she had opinions already. I couldn't mold her. So Out There Screaming. going well, really enjoying the buddy read. I think we're enjoying this short story buddy read enough that I want to have one a quarter for Patreon next year, which also Patreon stuff, not this month, but next month. If you're thinking about, what Patreons you might want to join or anything like that, I have some ideas that I want to do for next year. I always do a survey, and then also like when we pick like our first quarter of the years of like reads and plans or whatever, we're going to be voting on that in like November-ish. So if you want to say in that, if you're curious about anything, come join us. All tiers get the same stuff. I think it's pretty fun. We do reading sprints every so often. They get all the kitten content. But that out of the way, the thing that I've been spending most of my time reading is A Day of Fallen Night. And I know I did this to myself, like I know. And I do feel validated as I've been reading some of the new releases that I didn't really think would work 100% for me because I'd been watching reviews, I was diligently listening to what people said, and I'm like, I bet that would be an okay read for me. I bet that would be, a pretty good read for me. Like I was thinking about all those things. And, with the ones I talked about last week, Emily Wilde and The Flower Bride, those things worked for me about what I thought. And those were ones I thought would be more hits because especially they're short. This one, I really didn't want to read, but I kind of really do want to commit to this bit of reading all the Goodreads shortlist. And I'm pretty sure it's going to make the Goodreads shortlist because people freaking love these covers. Like, I was looking, not that many people have rated this book, so it's only going to make it based off want to read shelf, which is based a lot on hype of authors, so The Bone Season and Priory of the Orange Tree, and the fact that these covers are stunning. And I'm just like, okay, so here I am, one of the 12,000 people reading and rating this book, and it's so fine. It is just so okay. And it's 900 pages of okay, which, like, if you don't remember when I was reading Wheel of Time, is, like, my least favorite thing. Like, on the surface, there's nothing I dislike about it. The representation is nice. We have asexual characters, we have queer characters, we have a lot of characters that are other, there's a lot of body autonomy discussions. It's fine. And also it reminds me a lot, like, it's not the same plot as Priory, because let's be real, I don't remember the exact plot of Priory. I remember its shape. And what I can tell you is this plot is the same shape. In terms of why we're doing what we're doing, how pieces are going to fall into place, who I'm suspicious of because of this vibe that I get, how the magic works. It's all just so fine. And I just wish that these projects weren't all about one big epic story in a 900-page book, because I actually think that's incredibly hard to pull off. I don't know an author who's done that in that many pages. I know people who've pulled off standalones in like 600 to 700 pages, because then it doesn't overstay its welcome, and you're actually choosing the scope that fits a standalone. I think with all the point of views, all the geographic locations, all the religious lore, all of just the magical lore, you're just getting surface level bits of everything. You don't get to sit in anything. There are character relationships you don't get to really feel, so when the book decides to do plot things to those character relationships, you're supposed to feel things, but do you? There are friendships there are some relationships that do hit harder than others. But there are big moments that I know I'm supposed to feel things and I don't. And that's because we don't get to spend enough time anywhere. You're just literally flashing from scene to scene to scene to scene. It's like watching the Infinity Wars for the Avengers, where you're just literally like, well, I can't stay in one spot. And like, that's not a bad movie. And that movie only works because we have how many films before it? So here, both Priory and A Day of Fallen Night, for me and my taste, it's just like, I'm not getting what I want in any direction of a fantasy story. It's fine. It has cool tropes. It has unique representation. I think the writing is more than serviceable, but I am just like, this is so okay. I don't know why I'm still reading it. I should be DNFing. This is all my own fault. I really should stop. I'm hoping the ending lands better than Priory, because I remember Priory's ending being a whole lot of build-up for nothing, and at least in this one versus Priory, I remember there was a perspective in Priory that I really didn't like. Like, he wasn't a bad character. I was bored. I was bored in his perspective. Whenever we went to his perspective, I'm like, great, here we are, over with this person. I would rather be with this one or this one. This person's really cool. She rides dragons. Why doesn't she get more page time? That sort of thing. And here, at least, I like all the perspectives that I've been given. And, I think the voice acting has done really well for it. I just don't care. I just don't care. And I think it would be better if they were 400-page books and they were duologies. or 500-page books and duology. So you can like sit in it. Heck, make it a trilogy. There's just enough here to do that, and it bothers me. It just doesn't feel like it works. And I say this as someone who reads Stormlight Archive and Malazan, but again, those aren't trying to do an epic in one book either. They're still indulgent tomes that some of the editions too long. I don't like how long House of Chains is. I don't like how long Oathbringer is. Like, there are books that are too long, but also you at least have these huge payoff moments because there are multiple books in the series. You know within the book you're going to get a contained arc, but there's more to come. There's more wonder. So yeah, I don't know. That's my little mini ramble rant about this book, that I knew this is how it would feel for me. So I feel validated in that I know my taste. But at what cost? I would have loved to have been surprised. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, 3 to 3.5 star, 900-page read, what everybody wants. But the thing that I'm also reading on the side, which is very exciting for me, is Theft of Sorts. This has been a long time coming. I think I've wanted to read this book since I've joined BookTube. Michael J. Sullivan's just like an author who I'm just like, if there is someone who can get me to like the medieval Europe, high epic fantasy aesthetic, it might be this person, because it seems like when people talk about this book in particular, it's all about Hadrian and Royce. And I do love a duo. I do love a platonic duo. And already, I mean, I'm only 2.5 chapters in, which the chapters are a bit longer in this book, so maybe I'm like 50 pages into it. I'm not even a con person. I didn't even know this was about like heists, cons, like they're like thieves who are doing stuff to make money and kind of Robin Hooding it. I didn't know any of the premise. I was here for the bros. That's really what I was here for. And I'm already really liking how it's being played out. I think some of the more like cliche lines are really landing for me. I think the aesthetic of the bars and the streets and the noble houses are really landing for me. So much so that it kind of pushed me over the edge to restart my game of Witcher 3. Because it kind of has that aesthetic in my head, which is really cool, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm really loving reading it, and I'm really loving playing Witcher 3 again, so hopefully those vibes continue. This entire time, it's been impossible, because Kieran is so cute. He's just so cute. He's been in my lap this like whole time, and just he's such a good boy. Such a good boy, except when he's a menace, which is in the morning. It's in the morning. All right, so that's what I've been reading. What will I be reading next? Well, I'm hoping to finish Day for Fallen Night soon. In theory, I think only have 3 to 4 hours left, which is a long time, but we're close. Like, I'm like 75% of the way done, so I'm going to finish it because I want to be able to fully complain. I don't know. This is silly. Don't do what I'm doing. If you are in this position, DNF the book. Put it down. It doesn't mean you hate reading. But I think this next week is spooky season. And I'm going to have some time this weekend because I'm traveling to New York City. So I'll have some train time, which, I mean, I'm going to be grading some of that, but I'll have some time to read. I can't decide if it's going to be Hellbent, My Heart is a Chainsaw, or maybe Vampires of the North. So maybe one of those, just because I think I'm feeling vibey with that. I just don't know which one it'll be. So we'll see. I mean, they're all on my Kindle, so I can do whatever I want. And, you know, I'm also going to be busy this weekend, so this is what I'm very excited about. I only ever go to New York City to see musicals. I'm very basic. Like, I think I've really visited Manhattan and Brooklyn. Those are the boroughs I've been to. Everything else, uncharted map territory, if we're going to go with a video game metaphor. And so Manhattan, it's even worse. I'm usually just at Times Square because that's where all the musicals are. But Merrily We Roll Along and Sweeney Todd are happening this weekend. And if you don't know, those are both Stephen Sondheim musicals, so it's a Sondheim weekend, and I was raised to really appreciate Sondheim. I don't love all of his stuff just because sometimes he's just very wordy. He's a very verbose. It's like part of his charm. And Merrily We Roll Along has been one of my favorite musicals ever since high school. And this is the one, I think Daniel Radcliffe is in the cast right now. Like, obviously, you never know till you're there if there's going to be an understudy or something. So if he's not there, that's okay. I mean, I want him to be there because he is so good on stage, but also just a chance to see in person one of my favorite musicals. I'm super excited. If you don't know what Merrily We Roll Along's about, it starts in its present day with these 3 people that used to be friends, artist friends together in New York, and they're at different points in their life, and they're like, the whole point of it is, how did we get here? And so every so often you go back in time and you see like a tree branch point where a decision was made and that was how it progressed. And it kind of ends at the beginning of their story where they're full of hope. It's so bittersweet. I really love it. It's so quotable. If you've seen Lady Bird, this musical was the musical the kids did, which I'm like, merrily we roll along for a high school musical. Ambitious. And then Sweeney Todd. I feel like more people know Sweeney Todd because there was a movie that came out in the mid-aughts with Johnny Depp. But, you know, it's the demon barber of Fleet Street. He's a barber who, because he's really mad on a revenge arc, kills people when they come, and he makes a deal with the person who lives downstairs to give her the body so she can make meat pies, because I think there's like a food shortage or something. Angela Lansbury, I think, got her first Tony from this role. Unsure. But this has Josh Groban, and we're really hoping we get Josh Groban, because like Josh Groban as a base for musicals is so good. And that's like the thing that kind of sucks about the movie Sweeney Todd. I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't perfect about the movie Sweeney Todd. But the big thing is changing Sweeney Todd's voice range from like a bari bass to a tenor, because Johnny Depp can only sing like 3 notes. Because like it's just, it brings something to the role with that deep voice. So I'm a musical nerd, so I'm very excited about this weekend. I also get to see my friend Natalie, who lives in Brooklyn, and I'm hoping to maybe see a couple BookTube friends if it works out. We'll see. Oh my God, Kieran's in my lap again. I just can't. He trusts me so much. I feel so there. I've had him for a month and it feels like I've had them for like a year. It's wild. So yeah, that's kind of my life right now. I'm hoping for good vibes. By the time you're seeing this, I've hopefully had a meeting that went really well. Who knows? At least the void is speaking back. All right, so that's this video. Let me know what you're reading, doing, watching. I'm really enjoying my Witcher playthrough. So video game, I would love to know what you're doing. I just feel like Witcher's like such a good fall feeling. Like when I first read The Last Wish was in fall. When we got the first season drop, it was like late fall, early winter. I just feel like this is the time of year where I'm like really feeling it, and so I'm having a good time. And it's like an easy game to like pick up and put down, I think. Or I don't know, I restarted and I'm in the tutorial section. I don't know about you guys, but I just love a good tutorial section. I can replay those all day. All right, but yes, let me know any of those things. If you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, leave a dragon. Dragon emoji seems great. And otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.